of 101 famous poems. The Rhodora. On being asked, whence is the flower? By Ralph Waldo Emerson. Spoken and with commentary by E. T. Hansen. In May, when sea winds pierced our solitudes, I found the fresh Rhodora in the woods, spreading its leafless blooms in a damp nook to please the desert and the sluggish brook. The purple petals, fallen in the pool, made the black water with their beauty gay. Here might the redbird come his plumes to cool and court the flower that cheapens his array. Rhodora, if the sages ask thee why this charm is wasted on the earth and sky, tell them, dear, that if eyes were made for seeing, then beauty is its own excuse for being. Why thou wert there, O rival of the rose, I never thought to ask, I never knew, but in my simple ignorance suppose the self-same power that brought me there brought you. On our yearning for nature. There is nothing so contradictory, even schizophrenic, as our relationship to nature. On the one hand, we do everything we can to tame it and escape its cruel dangers. We build houses so the wind and cold and rain can't get to us. We pursue medicine and science to overcome disease and physical frailty. We buy insurance to protect us from blind chance. We strive to understand it in order to outwit it. On the other hand, we yearn for it. We visit the beach or the mountains or the woods whenever we can. We fill our living rooms with plants. We shop in organic food stores and watch documentaries about whales. Even the word nature is loaded with value. Natural is always good. Unnatural, always bad. Maybe it's because we're torn between two ways of being. Life today, with all its discontents, is still better than living in a cave. Just ask your cat, who will tell you that life with a heater in the house and free cat food each morning is much better than life in a back alley. The problem is, as with everything in life, we pay a price. When we put walls between us and the cold, hard world outside, we put up a wall between ourselves and where we come from. We are part of nature, yet we live unnaturally. Biologically, we are animals, yet we live unlike any other animal. Like the saying goes, nature is our mother, but we have put Mom on the other side of a glass wall so she won't harm us. It's only natural to wonder then if we did the right thing, or even who is on the wrong side of that wall, nature or us. Civilization feels artificial because it is. Nature feels natural because it is. We made civilization by artifice, but nature is what made us. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to be one with nature. Not just to go camping in the mountains or take in a rescue pet, but how we felt thousands of years ago when we would sit at the mouth of a cave watching an endless carpet of stars reel overhead, without TV, without politics, without even language. We would simply be, just as the rock, the tree, the leopard watching us from the shadows just are. Would we see things we cannot see now? Would we see spirits walking along the river? Would we see the gods overhead? Would the trees and flowers and birds speak to us? Would we be content then? Would we feel right? Would we feel fulfilled? Only the most desperate or crazy of us would leave a community where food, work, leisure, and intelligent conversation are in abundance, where we can provide our children with security and a good education, where we can strive to be all we can be. Yet we still need a glimpse through that glass wall. We need, every once in a while, to reach out and make contact to the existence we come from. That is what gives nature its mysticism, its spirituality. When we take a walk in the woods among the tall, silent trees, content to stand on their hillsides, reaching for the heavens and breathing in stardust. When we climb the endless boulders of a mountainside and gasp at the beauty of the snowdrifts and look down in awe at the vast vista of a world endlessly greater than ourselves. When we lie on the lawn and gaze up at the stars, speeding in their courses, taking with them their mysteries and secrets and shining back at us through the darkness and through time. That's when we glimpse, for a moment, foggily, incompletely, who we really are and what we are a part of. About Ralph Waldo Emerson. Ralph Waldo Emerson, born 1803 and died in 1882, was an American philosopher and essayist and the leader of the Transcendentalist movement, an American philosophy of the 19th century that emphasizes individualism over collectivism, the inherent goodness of people and nature, and the divine in the everyday. It was closely related to Unitarianism and took inspiration from the Bhagavad Gita. Emerson was born in Boston, Massachusetts, the son of a Unitarian minister. He studied for the ministry at Harvard and briefly served as one before coming into disagreement with the church. Though deeply Christian, his criticism of modern organized religion would sometimes cause controversy and get him labeled an atheist. When he began writing popular philosophical essays, he discovered public lectures as a means of disseminating his thoughts and soon earned a good living from it. He gave more than 1,500 lectures across the U.S. and turned his best lectures into successful books. He summarized his own philosophy with the words, "I have taught one doctrine, namely, the infinitude of the private man." His essays, for example, The Oversoul, are still recommendable reading today. He befriended and influenced many of the great writers, philosophers, and religious leaders of his day, including Henry David Thoreau, whom he inspired to write. He's the one who said, "Build a better mousetrap, and the world will be the path to your door." He married twice and fathered 4 children. In later years, he suffered from memory loss and died of pneumonia at the age of 78. Today, he is best known for his romantic poetry, which often describes the beauty and inherent divinity of nature, as well as the primal nobility of mankind. His most famous poems include Concord Hymn, Each and All, the Rhodora, and Brahma.
you.